Hey guys, good morning. My name is Jason Flame, and I'm with the Moorpark Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. And today we have another one of our amazing members that we'd like to highlight today. And this is Lauren Hammersley. She is the founder and creative director of Aarlo and Company Creative. Her journey blends creativity, resilience, family, and community impact. After spending nearly 20 years raising 5 children as a stay-at-home mom, Lauren turned her lifelong passion for design and storytelling into a business focused on creating meaningful, beautiful spaces filled with character and heart. Following the loss of her daughter Hazel after a courageous battle with pediatric cancer, creativity, art, and community became powerful parts of her family's healing journey and continue to shape the work she does today. From interior design and vintage treasures to theater performance and community leadership, Lauren's story is one of purpose, passion, and using creativity to make a lasting difference. Good morning, Lauren.
Morning. Thank you for that.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. We got a couple viewers so far that are watching. Thank you guys for watching our Moorpark Chamber of Commerce Chamber Chat. Lauren, tell us a little bit more about yourself and about your company that we didn't hear in that opening introduction.
I grew up in Moorpark and was super involved in the community. I love the small town that I grew up in, and I did a lot of creative endeavors there as well. I did the theater program at Moorpark High School and was really involved with community outreach and I loved growing up there. And now I settled in Simi Valley and I've raised my 5 children here, and my husband works in the animation industry, so we're both super creative. It's always been a part of our family life. All of our kids either draw, play an instrument, do theater, something along those lines. And then, like you said, my daughter in 2013, she was diagnosed with cancer, and that kind of became the cornerstone of our family's journey for a really long time. She fought for about 5 years. And we raised a lot of money for pediatric cancer. We were advocates for that world as well. We traveled to Washington, D.C. and helped fight for legislation. So kind of anything I was involved in. And then after she passed away, there was a long period of time where I wasn't really sure what my life was going to look like. And I started to realize over the last few years that creativity was the thing that kind of helped our family move forward and be able to express ourselves. And even my daughter, when she was in treatment, she often had like art therapy, music therapy, things of that nature that helped her to express things she couldn't otherwise express. And it was just such a wonderful way for us to connect and to get the feelings out that we needed to get out. And so I started exploring different ideas of how I wanted our life to look like, and interior design's kind of always been there. My mom, my grandma, they all were really interested in it as well, and always had fun with the insides of our homes. And then friends started asking me to help them, and so I said, okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can do this as a business. And I launched the business last year, and I've gotten 5 clients already, and it's just been so much fun. And the biggest thing for me is creating spaces that are more than just kind of perfect or clean. I really want a space to reflect identity, because I feel like art and creativity reflects identity and reflects the things inside that you can't really express. And so a lot of the interiors I do are really colorful. As you can see, this is my dining room. They're really colorful and filled with a lot of personality. And yeah, so now I'm here, and I kind of want to utilize this business as a way to connect local artists in our community. I'd rather you buy something from your neighbor who paints than Home Goods or Amazon. So I really hope to kind of create a creative hub in the greater like Caneo, Simi, and Moorpark area.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that story and a little bit more about you. We've got a couple questions that we'll dive in a little bit deeper. You spent nearly 20 years focused on raising your family before launching the company. What gave you the courage to finally take that leap and pursue your creative passion professionally?
That's a good question. I mean, honestly, my daughter Hazel, like she just she lived with such courage. And after she passed away, you know, I realized how short life is, and that you can't really waste a single moment. And I mean, I'm already a person who likes to say yes to things and who's open to opportunities. But with this particular endeavor, I was quite nervous because I don't know anything about business. I'm a creative, you know, and so I definitely was nervous, but I like to say yes to things, and she was the same way. She liked to say yes to things, and the way that she fought cancer, the way that she still lived life with a lot of joy and purpose and love, it just really inspired me to keep going, and also to live a life that I choose to live, and with creativity, that's a huge part of that for me. And so I kind of wanted to take control of my own future, and because she did what she did, I could do what I can do.
That's great. And you mentioned that, you didn't know a lot about business and you were more creative. So what were some of the things that you learned about running a business that were maybe a challenge or something that you overcame, in these early stages?
I mean, honestly, I've learned so much, like everything from all the things that are required to launching a business to accounting and bookkeeping. And what's been such a huge help has actually been joining the chamber, because through the chamber I was connected to the Economic Development Center, and we were given a free mentorship, and we were able to learn about how to launch a business in this community. And that's just been so helpful, because otherwise I don't think I would have been able to do it as easily or as quickly as I have. But yeah, just having the support of the people who are already in the business community has just been tremendously helpful.
And being a member or being a resident of Simi Valley, I know you grew up here in
Mm.
Moorpark. What made you want to join the Chamber of Commerce here in Moorpark? Because obviously you have other options and other chambers of commerce that you could have joined. So why us? I'll give it a minute to come back, guys. Apologize. We have a little bit of a glitch in our connection. So hopefully Lauren can hear me. And as soon as that picks back up, she'll be able to answer that question. Lauren, can you hear me? All right, stay tuned, guys. Hopefully, we'll get her back here in just a minute. If you are a member and you are watching this chamber chat today and you'd like to be featured on our chamber chat series, we stream live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And so we can highlight your business and let you talk a little bit more about what you do and how you're involved in the community. Looks like Lauren has dropped off, but maybe she'll come back. But let's take a look at what we have going on at the Chamber of Commerce coming up in June. I know we have a lot of activities and a lot of events. I'll see if I can pull that up while Lauren is going to, I think, attempt to re-log in again. And if you're not following us on Facebook, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. So just our event schedule coming up June 2nd. We have a mixer at the Teaching Zoo at Moorpark College at 5 p.m. And then on June 5th, we have a grand opening at Sandal Cellars at 5 p.m. Then June 9th, we have an AI for local businesses workshop at 5:30 p.m. June 11th, we have our Young Professionals Lunch at Carrara's at 12 p.m. June 19th, our networking breakfast held at 95 at Lucky Fool's Pub at 8 a.m. And on June 24th, we have the Coffee with a Cop at Country Harvest from 9 to 11 a.m. And Lauren is back.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay. I filled a little bit of time by talking about our event schedule. So I want to get back to, we were talking about why did you choose the Moorpark Chamber of Commerce when you have other options?
Yeah. Moorpark, I mean, being a small town, it's such a supportive community. And I found that every time I attended an event, everybody just wanted me to succeed. And every time I expressed interest in developing a business, because I started attending some events before I even launched the business, but every time I expressed interest in doing this, I got such encouragement from everybody that was there at the events, and it just felt, I don't know, it just felt like home. And also Moorpark is really devoted to the arts,
Mhm.
especially even from at a city level, and so for me, joining a community that is just as excited about bringing arts to the community was something that was really important to me. But I'm also really involved in the other chambers as well, and I also serve as arts commissioner for the city of Simi Valley. So I'm just kind of connected in all of the areas. But Moorpark just, it has my heart.
Good for you. No, that's awesome. Obviously, it has our hearts as well. And I don't know if you know this, but my wife, Jackie Flame, is also an arts commissioner here
Yes.
in Moorpark. And so, seeing all the new art going up on High Street and coming up with the library and lots of art. And of course, being a martial artist,
Yeah.
my art is with my fists and my feet, but we still have a connection to the arts as well. One thing that stands out about your work is your love for vintage, secondhand, and locally crafted pieces. What do you think gives a space true character and soul instead of just looking perfect? You touched on
Yeah.
this a little bit before.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah, I mean, perfection is really hard to attain anyway, but I love a space that feels layered and personal. Like if you're traveling and you collect things and they're here to tell your story. I believe your house and your home, or even your business, is really there to reflect who you are and tell your story. And when you live in a space that aligns with your identity, you feel really good, and you feel like you can be yourself and express yourself. And yeah, so I mean, secondhand finds also have that in itself. They have a story to tell, and I love when you can tell someone, oh, I bought this at thrift store for $7, or I found this at an estate sale of this wonderful woman, or we got this on our trip to Utah. Like I think objects have those stories, and it reflects your own story. And so, yeah, I love that. And also it's more sustainable too. We have enough furniture and decor in the world. And so I feel like, we have an opportunity to decorate our homes and our spaces in a more sustainable and thoughtful way.
Well, I grew up with a mother who absolutely loved antique furniture, and she would love to go and pick up these pieces that she would have around the house, and some of them were passed down too from family members. Like, she's got this coffee table in here that was my grandma's and before her, I believe, and it's kind of been passed down. And then she has these pieces that she picked up, and like you said, there's always kind of a story. We picked it up when we were traveling, or we picked this up, and this was made in the 1800s or something like that. So I definitely understand that feeling of the history and the stories behind the pieces. So tell me, as a designer, what are some mistakes that people can make when picking up pieces or picking out art, or are there any mistakes that you can make when you're designing? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough question, because I kind of agree with the second statement. There really aren't a lot of mistakes when it comes to picking out things, because if you love it, it's not really a mistake, but it's just learning how to integrate the things in a thoughtful and meaningful way. For me, color is kind of the biggest thread. If there's a good color palette, you can kind of fit anything in a space. And so as long as it kind of goes with that and it tells the same story. But I think people, I would say the most common thing that I see when people are feeling like the space is not reflecting themselves is they're following trends, or they're buying the things at Target or at Home Goods, and it's just not feeling quite right. And so I think for me, I would just always encourage somebody to find things that feel personal, and find things that have a bit of character, and I think, yeah, I don't know. It's again, I don't think mistakes are really made. I think it's more just when it's not reflecting who you are, then something doesn't feel quite right.
Right. I am far from a designer in any way. I mean, I would probably have the same furniture that I had when I was, a teenager all the way through my life. So thank God my wife has an eye for making things look nice in our home. And in saying that, when you have the right things, like you said, in your home, it makes it feel, cozy and home, right? And again, my wife is really good at picking out the things that make it feel like home and make it feel comfortable. But I'm always thinking, like people talk about like feng shui, or they talk about like certain, the country look and this look and that look, and sometimes people kind of mix it all up, right? And maybe it doesn't go. I don't know. Again, I'm not a designer. Just maybe trying to pick your brain a little bit to understand.
Yeah, I kind of specialize in eclectic design, and every designer kind of has a different specialization. There are those that focus on feng shui or focus on, buying new and custom, or, But for me, I do kind of a layered eclectic look, and so, like sitting here in my dining room, I've got a library card catalog cabinet that I've turned into my wine bar. And that doesn't necessarily go with the green velvet curtains that I have. It's not like one particular style, but it's fun, and it's eclectic and colorful, and again, it kind of all goes together if you tie it in with the right color palette.
Nice, nice, nice. So you're deeply involved in the local arts community, as you mentioned, through the Simi Valley Arts Commission and High Street Arts Center. Why do you believe arts and creativity are so important for strengthening a community?
You know, I think the arts reflects identity, and it's a way that we can connect with one another, and really feel like we're part of something. With social media, we kind of think we're connected, but I kind of feel like we're more disconnected than ever. And when you come together and share in creativity, there's a connection that you can't experience anywhere else. And I think the arts is just a way to do that. I mean, just participating in a theater production, you kind of get to build something together and work on something together, and you kind of create this family, and then you get to express all of these things that you have inside of you, and you get to do it together, and then you get to share it with your community. And so yeah, I think it's a place for connection, and it's a place for expressing yourself, and for a community, being able to see your identity as a community reflected back to you through art, I think is just so important.
And give us some examples of ways that people can get involved in their community that way. Like, what are some things that you've done, maybe most recently, that are memorable, and something that you would, kind of suggest to somebody else? This is how you can get involved.
Yeah. Well, Arts Commission meetings are free to the public to attend. We encourage anyone from the community who'd like to know about what art things are coming up to join those meetings. And then we also just put a survey out to the Simi Valley community. So if you live in Simi Valley, the Cultural Arts Center is asking the community what kind of arts programming and events they'd like to see. So we just had an event where I was out there surveying the community and asking, are you interested in art festivals, live music, visual arts galleries, things of that nature? And so right now we're really just trying to find what the community is interested in seeing. But also, yeah, going to your local art centers like High Street Art Center, or this Thousand Oaks Civic Arts Plaza, or the Cultural Arts Center here in Simi. There's so much programming, I think, that a lot of people don't know about. And then also just, trying to find your local artists in the area. If there's an event like a craft festival or an art festival, being able to meet your local artists and seeing what they're doing, and seeing how you can support them, because honestly, your local artists need your support more than any other business that you're going to buy from to decorate your home. And I think it would be really cool if, as a community, we could all start purchasing from our local artists instead of from Amazon or Home Goods, like I said before.
Right. Always try to support local. Absolutely. Well, so for someone listening right now who feels stuck or overwhelmed or afraid to pursue a dream later in life, what encouragement would you give them from your own journey?
Later in life? What are you saying?
Well, I mean, not right out of high school, right?
I know, I'm just kidding. Gosh, again, I'm a person who likes to say yes to things, because you just never know what opportunities are out there. And I started this as an interior design business, but I'm open to it becoming whatever it decides to become. And And so for me, it's kind of, if you have an idea, you have a desire, like say yes to it until it no longer makes sense. And for me, I'm going to say yes to this as long as I can, because it's just been so much fun. And again, I'm so brand new to the business world, so I don't feel like I'm entirely capable of giving a lot of advice to people about starting businesses, except just try it and say yes. The worst thing that can happen is it doesn't work out and you close the business and you try something else.
Right. Start over and do something new.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
so you've been at it just about a year. Is that right?
Yeah, last summer is when I started.
What have been some of the biggest successes or some of the most exciting things that have happened for you over this last year?
Oh man. Well, I started with a friend's house, and just through sharing that, I've been able to connect to people online, and I've been able to get a few clients organically. And I think that's been kind of the most exciting thing for me, because when you first start, you're helping friends, you're helping family. But I just completed a project that was at a hair salon in Thousand Oaks, and that was so much fun, because in hair salons, there's a lot, they're kind of artists in their own way too. So they're really creative and willing to take chances with design that I don't think you get the chance to do inside of homes as much. So that was really fun. And then also there is a wine bar that's coming into the High Street Depot that I'm super excited about. And I've connected with her, and she also is asking for my help. And so getting to be in on the ground floor at the new development, I'm just so excited about it. And to bring a wine bar to the community, like that's going to be really fun.
So it sounds like a lot of your business comes from word of mouth and referrals of other. What does your ideal client look like? Is there a particular type of client that you're looking for right now?
I mean, anybody who's looking to bring some personality into their home, their business, and anybody who's willing to take a little bit of chance with color and artwork. Honestly, though, I'm willing to work with anybody. I have a client right now who her color palette is kind of all creams and whites, and it's been a really fun challenge for me, just because I'm usually very colorful. So I'm really open to working with anybody. But yeah, anyone who's willing to take a chance.
And how can people connect with you? Where can they find you online? How can they contact you?
So I have an Instagram. It's Aarlo and Co-Creative. I think you might have it in your messages from me. I also have a Facebook page, and then I'm at a lot of the local events, especially the chamber events. So if you come to like Young Professionals on the Thursday, or if you come to any of the art festivals or craft festivals, you usually find me there.
Okay, excellent. And is there anything that we haven't had a chance to talk about that you want to let the audience know before we head into the rest of our day?
No, I think again, just say yes to things, and have fun, and you don't have to be an artist to be creative. So, just have some fun and bring some creativity to your life.
All right. Well, thank you for being on today. Thank you for sharing with us your story and about your business, and for all the service that you do in your community. Thank you guys all for watching the Moorpark Chamber of Commerce Chamber Chat with Lauren Hammersley today. I will be posting this link from YouTube as well, and Lauren, you'll have this link to share with your friends. But I wish everybody a great day and a great rest of the week. We'll talk to you soon.
Great,
Take care.
thank you.
Thank you, Lauren.
Bye-bye.